Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club. Your number one stop for stellar reviews of volumes, arcs, or stories that us or yourselves choose. You can find us live every Wednesday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and the replay on all podcast networks. Take a seat, get yourselves and your opinions ready, as it's time to join the herd. But first, please put your hands together for your hosts, Shane, Phil, and Scott, as they kick off this week's discussion.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club, and it is a very special episode today. It is the Volume 2 Roundup Show, where we go ahead and talk about every book that we've read and reviewed in the last 52 weeks over Season 2. Wow. If you've not been here before, great time to jump in because we're going to be starting Season 3 next week. But if you've not seen me, my name's Scott. Up here I've got Philip.
Hello.
And over here I've got Shane.
Oh, hoi hoi.
Very underwhelming. Hello.
I need a new catchphrase. Like if anyone has one, like happily, I could take off their hands, because Shane has a hoi hoi. I did use Liam's Heidi Ho for a while.
Yeah, you did.
I think I need my own.
Yeah, a new one to start Season 3 with, yeah. Send in your suggestions and you'll pick the best one. Or the worst one, knowing Phil.
Yes. So, kind of introducing a show, the format that we don't have one to follow this time. We're not going, and this week we're talking about, it's just, this week, tonight, we're going to be talking about the whole bloody season. But let's go ahead and see who's here first of all, because it's all about you at the end of the day. Highland G, first one in. Hey everyone. Hey buddy, thank you for coming. Martin is here. Evening all. Little doo-doo party. Oh, no, not that. Party emoji. Triple G, happy anniversary, herders. Thank you for pointing me in the direction of some great books. Aww. That's good. And hopefully we pointed you away from some bad ones. That's what we're here for. It's a service,
Yeah, and hopefully Phil didn't point him in the direction of too many good ones, and you and I also helped with that list, Scott.
Yeah. I hope so.
I wasn't going to say that, guys. Of course he got good picks from me. Of course he did.
Hey dudes, from This Week Metropolis, it's James. Thank you very much. Hey buddy. Happy Nerd Herd Day. We should make this an annual thing. Hey Kev, thank you very much for that. And well, who is this? What's happening here? Where am I? Who are these people? It's TB Collects. Tyler is here, everyone. Thank you for joining, mate. Lovely to see you. We do miss you. Phil is... wipe your tears, Phil. Connie's here. Evening. Hey, Phil, you could have this. Howdy, y'all, from Liam.
I can't do that accent.
Oh, howdy. Right, okay.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah, great. Or Howdy Doody from Lewis.
Howdy Doody. That's possible. All good suggestions.
We've got a big happy birthday from Dean here as well. Hey, buddy, thank you. And we have got James as well. Hi, all. Hey, James, how you doing? So... we've got a lot to talk about, boys. It's been a mad year. We've done a lot. We've talked about a lot. I think it's been different to last year. A different, I don't know, like the caliber of books that we've read. They just hit different, I think, in my opinion.
Do you mean that? I mean, I know mine have. Because they're better. I've raised the bar slightly. Is it maybe because you think that because yours didn't? So that's why it's different?
Well,
Mr. 8.1?
I am Mr. 8.1. Most of my books got 8.1. We'll show you the leaderboard in a bit. But, yeah.
That's really high. 8.1 is still really high.
And consistent, might I add. Okay? Consistent. Yeah, but I mean, I think this is my... really second year reading comics, and I felt like I was trying to push the boat out a bit more and just try and discover some things like, do I like this? Do I like that? Do I know anything about this writer, that writer, artists, whatever, and so we'll nameless, Grant Morrison had a cool concept, freaked us all out. But but then Phil, you've got a good knowledge, a good repertoire of what is a good book and what means for a good book. And I think Shane, you just know the classics. You know what a good. I don't want to say the word old.
You can say the word old.
A good old book. There we go. Nailed it. So. Okay, another opening for you, Phil. Peter suggested, how about Barney from The Simpsons burp as an opener? No?
I'm not a burper.
Oh, okay. And
I
James...
just want to highlight this comment because
yeah,
really enjoyed these two books that I picked.
yeah, they're Phil's picks. So James really enjoyed Old Man Logan and Cosmic Ghost Rider. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed those as well. They are really cool books, especially when there's like a funny baby Thanos involved.
Getting punched in the face.
Yeah, it was funny. And TB is backing me up as well. 8.1 is a pretty good score for a book, to be fair. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you.
When it comes to picking books, like for myself, and I appreciate it from you guys too. Like I like to think of books that one I've read, but I think Scott would like, or I think Shane would like, or when Dean was here before, I think Dean would like. And it's like, I think you guys do that too. Like so the Harley books that Shane picked, like Mad Love and Knock Knocks and Preludes. Like I would never have read them myself, but Shane also knows they're good books, so he suggests them. We read them, we enjoyed them. So in terms of like the caliber of the books, like all of us, we've all got kind of. Again, I don't want to be big-headed, but Shane absolutely loved the Magic Order, and again, that's a book he never read. So, like, I introduced that, he loved that. He loved it, Scott. That's what I like about doing this. There's books that maybe you just wouldn't look at twice, but 100%. Somebody suggests them, and then you love them.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been aware of the Magic Order for a long time, but I think it would have taken me a long time to getting around to it. But now thanks to you, Phil, because you picked it. It basically forced me to read it, and I'm really glad I did. And then, there were books like for me, most of my picks were kind of based off what have I heard is good, what do I think is good, and then like Paper Girls, that was quite a recent one we did that had an Amazon only one season on Amazon, unfortunately, but that was like, okay, if that's good enough to get a TV show, maybe it's a really good, decent book. And I've heard a lot of people raving about it. It's got deluxe editions. It's got a massive omnibus for the whole story. So I was like, yeah. So is that those kind of things? I'm going, yeah. I'm just basing all of my picks really on what other people are either telling me as good, or if I'm seeing a lot of that particular book or story as well. Shane, what were you basing all your picks off?
Just what I wanted to read. Like I have a massive stack that I just can't get through. So I'm like, if I read them for the herd, then I have to read them, and I can get through my list. Like I've wanted to read Kill or Be Killed for ages.
Yeah.
But it's just finding the time, and I don't want to rush through some books that I wouldn't give the right time to and the energy. Sometimes you need to give it the attention that it deserves, Phil, when reading a book, Phil.
See.
We'll come to that.
We will.
So yeah, I just have a list of things that I want to read. I've heard of are good, or I like the synopsis for it. Like even if I hear terrible things about a book, if I like the synopsis, I'm still going to give it a go. I'm not the kind of person that will, just put it down because someone else has said, "Oh, don't give that a go." If the synopsis sounds really good, you never know; it could be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So everyone's favorite book is someone else's worst book, isn't it?
Definitely. There's a book for everyone. And we've said this time and time again. Like, so, yeah, even though we've rated Nameless and Onslaught, they were the bottom ones, 4.3. Even though we didn't like them a lot, they could be someone's absolute favourite story.
Yeah, and I would never tell anyone not to read a book that I didn't like. I would never suggest it.
Yeah, like, I have been asked previously, can you recommend any books? And I'm like, yes, there's this, but I haven't really liked this, but I think you may like this and stuff like that, but it'll never be, don't read that, I hated it.
Yeah.
Or don't read that, it's bad. It's like, it's bad to me, but you may like it. And
exactly.
Yeah. So, right.
We showed that last week with our last one, didn't we? Connie and I absolutely loved Hotel.
That's true.
And you and Phil were a bit like, oh, it's not for me. So
yeah,
We showed in that one episode just how polarizing a book can be.
100%.
Plus, even with that, even in the last 2 years we've done this, I think, is it twice and like 2 separate occasions where we've all picked the same score? Like, it's very rare we all think the same kind of.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some books we love, but in terms of giving like an 8 or 10, we're all the same. It very rarely happens. Which, again, like last week, Shane and Connie are clearly sickos. Where Scott and I are just more
Normal.
normal.
What, you don't like faces peeling off the ceiling? What is wrong with you?
No. Okay, so Lewis has said it was really strange to join so late. So Lewis joined us during the Spider-Man month that we had for when he turned 60. I said it wrong. Yeah, I said it 80 before, didn't I? But he joined at the perfect time. He said, "Thank you to us 3 for the great new reads, and thanks to James Copley for inviting him."
Oh,
That's awesome. I mean, again, like me and Shane were talking about this just before we came on. We are now getting to a point where we are seeing people join the Nerd Herd that we've never heard of. So a lot of people like Triple G and Highland G and anyone else with a G. This Week in Metropolis, all that. And it's just like these people that we knew whilst we were starting all of this, and they've stuck by. But then we've got these random people that have just found us and have enjoyed us and gone, "Hey, you may like this. Come and see what the Nerd Herd is about." So I find it absolutely incredible that people that we've never heard of, met, spoken to, anything, have found us, enjoyed us, and stuck with us.
and introduced us to their friends. Yeah,
Yeah. So thanks so much. It's awesome.
Yeah.
it is.
But also, you're welcome because you want to thank us because how awesome we are. This stuff played out, we do. We're fantastic. 3 gentlemen here providing entertainment.
Okay,
Yeah.
feels going to be unbearable if we don't bring this up. When are we bringing up the fact that he's held the top spot for the entire season?
The entire season. My pick, top spot.
It wasn't the
Very
entire
first.
season. He had like 2 weeks or something, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't pick a book.
Well, yeah, his first pick
His first pick.
took the top spot and held on to it right up till last week. And then his book
Yeah.
then took over.
Yeah. We will get to this, okay? We will get to some stats. We'll show the leaderboards off and all this stuff, right? We will get to it. Connie is saying Witches and Hotel were the best reads this season, probably because she chose them for the Herd's Choice. But her favourite was actually Deceased and Old Man Logan. 2 more Philip's picks.
I picked Kill or Be Killed, everyone in the chat. Just so you know, I picked Kill or Be Killed, and Kill or Be Killed is a great book if you haven't read it.
Yeah, it is a great book. You should
Throw
definitely
it
read
in there. Add 3 titles in there. Come on, people. Don't just keep naming 2 of
Yeah.
Phil's books.
Guys, I can't be too big-headed. All I did was pick them. I didn't write the books. I didn't draw the art. I can't be too big-headed. They're not my books. They just happened to be that I picked them, and they came top.
James has asked, what was the top-rated indie book?
Hotel.
Well, what are we counting as indie?
Just not the big 2, not Marvel and
Yeah.
Right.
Anything
Okay.
but
So then
in
our
Marvel.
top-rated indie book is The Magic Order.
Oh, of course.
Of
Oh, yeah.
course, yes.
I forgot I was top spot. Sorry.
It's The Magic Order. It had a 9.5 out of 10. Very
Yes.
big score. The biggest score. Not the biggest score that we've ever had at the Nerd Herd. And we'll come around to that later. We've got some more people coming in. We've got Luke Jones. Hello. Thank you for joining. And Chris is here. He says, I was random once. Now I've met my heroes. It was all right.
It was all right.
He's my hero.
Just all right.
And Peter saying that's a testimony to you guys. You're very likable and an easy, fun watch. Oh God, I didn't know this was compliment the guys hour. You're also very honest, which is refreshing. You should be very proud of what you all, Dino as well, have created. Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Dino is definitely deserved of a credit there as well. Right, Philip,
Yes.
have you reread Kingdom Come?
Yes.
Are we going to talk about it? Because you shafted that book.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Okay.
buy dinner first.
I have. I scored a 7. Like a 7.5 is not a bad score for one.
Shane and I give it a 10, mate.
I know, but a 7.5 is still a good score.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Shane gave Hotel a 9, and I give it a 6.5. So it can happen, you know. Basically, I reread it, and I would maybe go up to an 8, if I'm being brutally honest.
Maybe an 8.
No, it would be an 8. I would give it an 8. But the thing is, I read Kingdom Come a few weeks ago, and I actually flicked through it today, just to make sure I was in my head and was thinking, right, sometimes with the Nerd Herd, and I know, Scott, this happened to you the odd time where you leave it too late to read this week's book, and you have to try and cram it in almost.
Or your
You know what I
head's
mean?
just gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get
So
you.
You're there last minute, you're reading the book, and you're not really getting it. It's hard to kind of take it in. And I think Kingdom Come's one of those ones that I should have read for the first time when I had loads of time in my hands to like relax and read it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd done that a few weeks ago, and that's exactly what happened. I relaxed, I was reading it, and I was really enjoying it because I was actually picking up on things that it's went over my head the first time I read it. And it's definitely one of those things I will read again. And I think I will appreciate it as the years go on and with the many rereads. And it may one day fetch a 10, but the thing that keeps me out of it, or takes me out of it, is like, I just don't think I'm a DC guy, and that all these random DC heroes and villains, even though they might be quite insignificant in their role in the book,
Yeah.
there's just that many of them. It's like, I wasn't into it. But also, and I'll probably get a bit of stick for this, I love Alex Ross's art. It's fantastic. There's no question. But I said the same thing with Gabriel Dell'Otto with Secret War. I don't think painted art works for me in a comic. It looks wonderful. There's no question. It's too static. It's not dynamic. It's not, you know what I mean? It's just,
I understand.
there's something about it I can't see past. Looks wonderful, just not for me in a comic, and that's why I struggle with Kingdom Come. But I mean, I could push to the 8.5 really if I have to, but it wouldn't be a 10.
If I have
It's
to.
not, you know. It's not.
So now that it has no effect on the top spot, you're willing to give it the score it deserves. But when it was chosen during
No,
the...
that's not true. I gave it the score in my mind at the time of my first read. With my second reread, I scored half a point extra. That's not that much more. I wouldn't have scored the top spot even with an 8.
Well, I'm just glad you reread it.
Connie has said, failed to prepare with time, prepared to let down the entire chat when you give everyone's favourite book a 7.5. Clearly.
Can I just say the anxiety I had for weeks after the Kingdom Come, because I felt like, I mean, Dean and Pete and you guys and everyone else, it's like I felt like I'd done something really bad, like I'd like killed somebody's cat or something, and it's like, sorry, it's like, you know, just not for me.
Just get shunned. Was it Triple G even mentioned you in a video he did, didn't he? He said,
Probably.
yeah. Shane, this is one for me and you. Kill or Be Killed is great. Black Widow. Wait, did I choose Black Widow? Or did Phil choose Black Widow?
Phil chose Black Widow.
God, it's not even good for me then. I thought I chose it. And The Wizard of Oz. So
That was mine as well.
here we go. and that
Thank
was
you,
Shane's.
Highland
Yay,
G.
yay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I basically what everyone is telling me now, very politely, is that I need to pick better stuff. That's what's happening.
Can
Well,
I
we
just
did
say,
end the season with just me and Phil in the top 10, did we not?
Yep.
Like 6 of Phil's picks and 4 of mine. So,
Yeah.
no, there was a Herd's Choice, wasn't there?
was it 3 of mine then?
I don't think.
I think I dropped
Don't
one.
think. We'll come to it very soon.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We'll
But-
show you the leaderboard very soon.
To be fair, just on Scott's picks, I said this to you before, without sounding kind of like condescending. It's like at the very start of the year, you were picking things that you didn't know anything about. Like you were experimenting a lot more than maybe me or Shane were. It just so happened the ones you were picking weren't very good at the very start, but you were definitely trying different things because based on what you'd heard or what you thought.
Yeah.
Whatever, but
And
yeah.
we can't always choose good things. Like we have seen, it is fun to talk about a book that is bad, and everyone in the chat, they seem to enjoy it as well. So that's
Superman
what
up in the sky.
Yeah.
Superman up in the sky. Can I just say, just on the, if you want to ridicule my scoring in books, I ridicule your guys' scoring, because I had plenty of people messaging me privately saying, "Oh, the Nerd Herd's great. I agree with you on Superman Up in the Sky. It's so underrated. It's so misunderstood. It's a fantastic book. That should be top 10. To me, that's better than Kingdom Come."
Did you make up fake Instagram accounts just to send yourself messages, Phil? That's so sad.
So sad. So sad. James has sent us a little message saying maybe we could do a decades month. It might be good to see how comics have changed for the last 40 years.
Ooh, that'd be quite
Quite
interesting.
cool.
What, the same character? Like 4 decades of one character?
Ooh, The Flash. Yes, sounds great.
We might have to put some names on a wheel for that.
Yeah.
The Flash. Barry Allen, Wally West, Jay Garrick, Max Mercury, Impulse. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, he's already marking it down. That's it.
I'm just writing decade month. I'm noting that down. I like that idea. We'll get to that. And people are agreeing with you, Phil. To be honest,
I
Kevin
know.
is saying, yes, I agree with Phil. Photo referencing for painting art or any art in general makes the characters look static. Tyler, I'm with Phil here. Don't apologise. Not everyone has to like the classics. Dean, Phil, I hear that Alex Ross has now blocked you on social media.
He's the first.
And he won't be sending you a Christmas card. And Chris has said, I think I scored a 7 or 7.5, and I'm a DC guy. The art is noticeably static in the action scenes, which were a bit less dynamic than I wanted them to be, and that's the only reason it fell short for me.
See,
Okay.
I'm not the only one.
All right, okay. Right. We'll put it to bed now. We're done with Kingdom Come, I think. Yeah. Shane, all
Yeah,
good?
yeah, it's all
Okay.
good. As long as he reread it, that's all I wanted. I wanted Phil to
Yeah.
read it again.
And I will read it even more times. I
See,
know I
that-
will. Yeah.
That means more than a 10. Absolutely.
That's not, though. That's not. Yeah.
No, to me, it means more than a 10 that you are
Yeah.
willing to read it again and again.
Right. Shall we take a look at some leaderboards?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. So, for anyone who hasn't seen it fully now, here is the Season 2 leaderboard. Top 10. Here we go. Philip, with Magic Order, 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic read. Absolutely love that book.
Yeah.
Deceased, second place, 9.1.
Who picked that?
Philip picked that. Philip picked that, written by Tom Taylor. Again, brilliant book. Then we have Shane with Kill or Be Killed, 8.9.
So close.
So close. So close. Kingdom Come, that was Shane's pick, yeah?
Yeah, that was me again.
8.8 in fourth place. Joint fourth place, Philip's pick, Old Man Logan, another 8.8. Then over to Shane with Batman Adventures Mad Love, 8.6 in fifth place. Joint fifth, Philip with Superman Red Sun, 8.6. Shane then, 8.5. Sixth place, Harley Quinn, Preludes and Knock Knock Jokes. Seventh place, Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 1, 8.4, Philip's pick. And then another one of Philip's pick, because Shane would never pick this book, Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, 8th place, 8.3.
Can I just bring that up, actually? Because Shane had said there about me maybe changing Kingdom Come if I read it this time round. Shane did admit to us last week, I think maybe not backstage, that had he read Extremity before Wonder Woman Dead Earth and got to appreciate the art of Daniel Warren Johnson,
Yeah.
he may have scored that even higher. And I think that's... I understand Wonder Woman, for a Wonder Woman fan like Shane, that art's quite jarring, but I think Daniel Warren Johnson is fantastic, and that book is great. So,
Yeah, well, Extremity was great.
Yeah, it's not just me that would change scores. Shane admits he would change the score. Yeah,
Yeah, I
This
definitely
is-
would have scored it higher.
Peter saying this is a great top 10. Sonic Martin is agreeing with him. It's a strong top 10. It is an awesome top 10. And this is one thing this is what I love doing doing the Nerd Herd. It's so good, and we get to read some awesome books, and we get to kind of collate this awesome, top 10 of fantastic books for people to read, and they can look at this list and go, you will enjoy pretty much everything. One or two may not be for you, but I'd say more than 75% of that top 10 anyone will enjoy. What the? Is this the real Alex Ross? I have no idea. He says, "Yo, I hear Phil wants to throw down."
That's got to be Dean. That's got to be Dean, surely.
Gotta be Dean. Gotta be Dean. I love that picture. That's amazing. That picture there. That's brilliant. I don't actually know what Alex Ross looks like.
That's
But
it.
yeah, so I love it. Really good. You're fantastic. Go on, Phil.
In regards to the top 10, it's the same thing as last year, and I have to give a lot of credit to Shane, because I had never read a Wonder Woman book, and last year we read Hecate and we loved it, and then we read Gods and Mortals as well. It's one of the first ones we read.
Yeah.
For year one, loved it too. And again, even since, I don't really pick up many Wonder Woman books. Obviously, Dead Earth, but again, Harley Quinn's another one I wouldn't have picked up. A Harley Quinn book, and the fact that there's 2 in the top 10. I know it's Batman book, but it's Harley Quinn.
It's Harley Quinn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, it just goes to show you that if you have, I don't want to say prejudices, because I'm not ignorant towards Harley Quinn. I just would never have picked it. But like, when you're offered books that are out of your comfort zone, out of your knowledge, you get 2 great ones like that.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Second year running, we've had a Harley book in the top 10.
Yes, mate.
We picked last year's one, Harleen. What was that?
I think it might be.
Yes, Phil, it was you.
Right. So
Hold on, he just said he wouldn't read a Harley book, and in season 1 he picked Harley.
but that was a Black Label, Elseworldy type of book, you know.
yeah, not
Not the
true
kind of-
Harley.
Yeah, not like the clowny kind of, goofy kind of Harley, which I thought it was, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's look at the rest of the leaderboard, and let's all pick a few noticeable ones from there. Then, so obviously, I'm going to talk about all of my 8.1s. Every pick.
Have we got time?
So yeah, does anything from this list jump out at either of you guys? Is it scored too high? Not scored enough? Was it like a book that wasn't a particularly fantastically scored book, but you really enjoyed it for some reason and you want to carry on or have carried on?
To me, the 2 that stand out is the Batman Year One and Batman: The Long Halloween. Because if you were kind of picking books, like I would almost expect them to be in the top 10, because they're some of the best Batman stories ever, and those stories in general are held in quite high regard.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're still quite high, I'm not saying it's not, but the fact that they're, not top 10, it's criminal almost.
I think that's the problem. I think because if you haven't read them and you're constantly seeing them on like a top 10 list here and a top 10 list there, your expectations are up here, and then you read them and you're kind of a bit like, oh, I was expecting a bit more. Not to say they're bad, because obviously we scored them quite high. They're not bad at all. It's just your expectations are higher than the book could ever deliver at that point. Because The Long Halloween and Batman Year One, I think for the past, maybe 15 years, I've seen it on every top 50 comic books you have to read, So I was like, well, then it's got to be as good as The Killing Joke. It has to be this amazing book. And for me, I was a little bit let down by them.
Yeah.
I think you need to reread them again, Shane.
Who's got the time? They're so long.
Yeah. So I was looking through this, and there are things that I've either read on that either of you guys weren't particularly keen on. For example, Critical Role, very D&D heavy. I have read very recently Volume 2, and I think you guys would be happy to know that there are no like game references in this story. It is just about the characters and they're going on this quest. So like in the last book we had that kind of we had that section where we had the grid map, and there was like a little secret door, and you had the little markers and stuff, and you guys had no idea what that was, but I did, and I enjoyed that, but you couldn't because you didn't know what it was. And so I was reading the second one going, I wish you guys would read on now, because there is none of that kind of stuff going on, and you should understand everything that is going on there.
Okay. I think that was probably on my list to read on, but like I want to read on. I've put like loads of these down on a list. It's just finding time. Like I want to continue with Chew because I loved that book. That was fantastic. I know it didn't score very high, but I want to read on with Pretty Violent because I really enjoy that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've read I've only read like 2 or 3 more issues. I didn't get to the next trade, but I definitely want to continue reading that because I like that kind of universe. It's just finding the time, because you lot keep bloody picking really good books, and so then I add another series to my read list, and it pushes everything else down.
Yeah.
So
for me as well, Kaiju score, right? 6.5 out of 10 is 22nd place on our leaderboard. I've pre-ordered volume 2. It was something I really enjoyed. You know, yes, it's not the best thing in the world, but for me to enjoy something, it doesn't have to be the best thing in the world. It can be mediocre, okay, have an interesting concept. It's just a bit of fun, and that's what it was. So I've pre-ordered volume 2, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's a good hint for anyone else who enjoyed that and wanted to read on. It's coming out soon.
See, with Kaiji scored, like, again, same with your thing you're saying, it was really good fun, and we all enjoyed it. I think books like that are quite limited. I know it sounds awful to say, but, you know, I don't think it would ever have scored a 9 out of 10 for anybody. No. But as you've said, it's good fun. Like, I have the first trade paperback, and I still have it, and I've got rid of books recently. So it's survived the cull, you know. Ooh, nice. So that's obviously a good sign. But so maybe, right, 6.5 is still a good score in terms of what's above it, in terms of like our top 10 or even our top 15, 20, whatever. But I don't know how much higher that could really be, to be honest. But it is what it is. It's really good fun. One thing I want to bring up is the 2 Klaus sequels.
Okay.
Because, again, those scores are probably fair, but I felt really let down by the Klaus books because the first one was just so fantastic, and these next 2 were just so far removed of what Grant Morrison started. And it's one of those things, like you mentioned Grant Morrison earlier on the show, like, he's polarizing. You either love him or you hate him because he can be a bit too mental at times. The first Klaus book, yes, he had the whole thing where he was playing a little flute and all the funny magic and colours, a bit psychedelic, but it wasn't bizarre. The next 2 were a lot more bizarre, and it wasn't the same book at all, not the same aesthetic whatsoever. And I feel like let down that those books aren't higher, because if they had matched what the first was, they should be top 10 really, because we all loved Klaus.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that third one was just a mess, wasn't it? Like, it was just a mess.
It got worse. It did. It did.
This is why I'm really scared to read like the second Kanto story, because the first one was so good, and then we read the second one, and if it's anything like Klaus Volume 2, I'm just going to be like, oh
no. Okay, so Tyler has been saying he's been catching up with us on all the reviews, okay? And he says he's absolutely gutted at the mind management review. Couldn't believe that we missed all the notes around the edges of the pages, and it adds so much to the story. So, did we miss a trick with mind management? Should we read it again?
No.
Didn't we notice the notes, but just decided that it was just too much? We didn't want to go back and read them.
I think Scott noticed it. I'm pretty certain something, or maybe it was in the chat but I remember the art was so ugly. It was really bad that I didn't want to give the book my full attention, and that's, that some books do that. I'm not being, that sounds really bad, I know it does, but some books, like, it takes you out of the story and it's hard to really get into it. I didn't like mind management.
And again, this kind of strengthens the thing where there is a book for everyone. And
there's books that aren't for people, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, it all just landed on the bad side for the 3 of us. And, it's... Highland G says something that makes sense here. Says it's interesting to see where things have landed. He thinks he would have a very different list. For example, Young Justice would be much higher and Skyward would be much lower. Again, different strokes for different folks. And that's all this is. You know, we're not saying our list is the definitive be all and end all. You know, this is a combination of our. this is a combination of our opinions and the herd scores of the people who read along as well. So it's just a combination of all of that. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very important guest appearance from Grant Morrison. He says, "Yo, Phil, you and me and Alex, let's go."
Oh, I'm gonna have to file a police report and get some police protection.
Or open an OnlyFans. He didn't say what he wants to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm not going to be allowed to go to Thought Bubble. I'll be banned. I won't be allowed in the door.
This man is not allowed.
Yeah.
Triple G has said, it would be interesting for us to do a bad book month. Read stuff that's been panned by others. Now, this initially sounds interesting, but can you guys remember how exhausted I was after Batman month? Even though Batman month was good, I was like, no more.
Yeah,
but it's a
we've
good
all
idea.
had the
We
same.
can
Yeah, sorry.
go on.
I was going to say we all had the same impact with the Batman month. I love Batman, obviously, but even with Spider-Man, when you're stick to one type for the whole month, it can be quite exhausting. And like I say, I wasn't allowed to pick another Batman story for the rest of the year. I was told no more Batman for the rest of the year because Scott was exhausted with Batman.
Yeah.
But the first pick, next wave, is not Batman. I'll give him more. I think I said, I would give you the rest of the 2022 before I pick Batman again.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about here now before we move on?
I suppose another one that kind of stands out again for not being in the top 10 would be Something Is Killing the Children, because
again, hype.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's as Shane mentions, the kind of like the expectations beforehand based on what's current and what people are really enjoying. I thought that would have scored higher by looking at things again. I think I prefer it better than Once and Future. Looking at their remakes of Colder and Witches, I maybe enjoyed it more than that. But as Highland J pointed out, everyone would have a different list. Just for me, Something's Killing the Children, I thought might have been higher up because I invested the money in the deluxe special edition.
That's
so
why. Personally, if I was gonna maybe advance some books up the leaderboard, it would be Once and Future, Volume 2 there. Even though I got a 7.3, I think it could go a bit higher. And also, Snot Girl should get more than what it deserved. Mate, that's still got a weird spot in my heart there. I've bought all 3 volumes. I haven't read them yet, but I can't wait to just sit down with them all and just crack on. I don't know what it is about this extremely mundane book that has just got me so into it. Yeah, like, it is, like, and I'll be honest, but it's just, there's something there for me. I'm just like, I want to know more what happens here. Like, this is, I'm just so invested in this whole story, and I just don't understand why. But, and because of that mystery, it's done something, and I just want to carry on with it. I think it deserves to be a little bit higher, just a smidge.
I'll be honest. I have completely forgot all about Snot Girl. I can't remember what the book was about. It's out of my brain. Never.
I remember someone died at the end. Someone fell down some stairs at the end, and there was a big to be.
Yeah, like her one and only friend, wasn't it? Something like that. The one person actually liked her.
Like
yeah,
See, now, I think Sex Criminal should be higher on the list because that was so much fun to read. It was hilarious. Every panel you zoom in, you see like dirty little things in the background, like the pawn shop with all the fun names of pornos. The detail in the back, that was just so much fun to read.
It was great.
That should be higher. I don't know why it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know why it scored so low, actually.
Look, it's really good. I just think you guys are playing funny buggers and didn't want my picks to dominate the top 10.
Yo.
Here we go. Liam's completely agreeing with me. The mystery kept in hooked. Yes. Thank you, Liam. And Tom's here, everyone. Wow, end of season 2. Howdy, lads. Hope you're well. We're doing great, mate. Thank you. Hope you are as well. We've had some more suggestions for specific months to do. We've got a publisher month.
Nice.
So we could do like Image, Dark Horse, Boom, whatever.
They have a special birthday coming up, like a birthday month for
we missed
celebration.
Image.
Yes.
And Kevin has said, what about a manga month? That's a realm that we haven't dipped our toe in.
That'd be a tough month. I mean, I think we should probably try just one manga book in a wave rather than an entire wave of manga books.
Straight in.
Oh my god!
Right. So we've had a good chat, I think, about this leaderboard. I have gone ahead and created a combined leaderboard for the last 2 years.
Oh.
Would you like to see the combined nerdhood from the 104 books that we've read and spoke about? Would you like to see the combined top 10?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here we go. Number 1, Kanto, 9.6. This was a viewer's choice from Sean. You remember Sean? He hasn't been here in a while, but he has still got that number 1 spot. Then we've got Harleen, which was Phil's pick. Second place, 9.5. Killing Joke. Who was that? Was that Shane or Dean?
I honestly cannot remember. It was one of us.
9.5 joined second. And then Philip's pick, the best book for this year, has joined second as 9.5 as well. Then we got Phil's pick with Deceased, 9.1. My pick, Lock and Key, is fourth with 9 out of 10. Batman Court of Owls, 9 as well, joined fourth. Then we've got Kill or Be Killed from Shane, 8.9. Saga Volume 2. Shane's probably not too happy about that. 6th place, 8.8. And then Joint, 8.8. Is Kingdom Come.
Yeah, in your face, Phil.
This is the best. I'm loving these. I'm sure it's Dean doing these, but thank you, mate. These are brilliant. These are brilliant.
I'm saying nothing else negative the rest of the day. This is
we
positive, Phil.
We need some more appearances. So that's the top 10. What do you think about that? And guys in the chat, what do you think about that?
I only have 4, so I'm not too happy.
I've got 1.
I have 2 or 3. I seriously can't remember who picked The Killing Joke.
I think, in all fairness, again, another strong top 10, and I think Saga Volume 1. I remember, obviously, Shane liked the second volume way more than the first, and but I just think that maybe the first volume should be in that. But yeah, that's maybe a stronger top 10 in terms of books that everyone knows of, in terms of ones that are recognised in the community as such. But yeah.
So Triple G says must read Kanto. It is a must read. I'm still carrying on. I read Volume 3 the other day. I'm still carrying on with it. They're on my pre-orders. I think the next one, the City of Giants one, is coming out soon. I'm in for all of Kanto, and I love reading them.
Just on this, I know Martin from Sonic's Comics, he said he's checked this out, and Peter as well. They did announce a good hardcover collection coming soon.
No
or they
way.
teased it, I should say. I'll say it that. David Boer on
Boer,
Instagram. They teased a hardcover collection.
Oh, okay, I'm getting that.
Yeah, me too.
Getting that, and I'll upgrade what I've got. So Highland G is appreciative of these. Peter saying he's just read Harleen last week, and it is a worthy top 5 contender.
That's phenomenal.
Mate. And Connie's only read 6 of these. Connie, which ones? Tell us which ones. And Tom says the Killing Joke should be higher.
Yes, but the problem with that, because I remember this, the problem with that is Dean and I read the original art style, the original colours, and you and Phil both read the new updated coloured version.
Yeah.
And you two scored it lower. You two scored it a 9, while Dean and I scored it a 10. So it could be because of the art style that you scored it lower.
Totally.
So had
It
we
could
all
be.
the same version, maybe that would have been a perfect 10. We will never know.
Maybe we should agree that if this ever happens in the future, we should read the same version. Yeah.
But how will we know? We didn't know until we got on live and you
I know, but
different pages.
hindsight 2020.
But I agree. But I can recall somebody picked a panel, and it was just like Batman interrogating somebody in the room, and the light was completely different for the two panels.
Yeah, yellow and Yeah, I remember.
And I've since reread the Killing Joke of the Absolute Edition now, so I have since reread the original, and it's far superior. But the same thing with Batman Year One too. There's modern art for it as well. I don't know if we all read the same for that, but yeah, the original one for Killing Joke was just far superior. And had we read that, it may have scored an extra point or two, which then would have pushed to the top spot.
So Brian Boland went back, changed the bloody colours, and ruined the book.
Connie has said she hasn't read Canto, Harleen, The Killing Joke, and Lock and Key.
Top 3, come on.
Get on it.
Yes.
Get on all of them. They are brilliant books. Like Canto, you feel a bit weepy. Harleen, you'll be blown away. Killing Joke, you'll be like, what? That was cool. That's amazing. And Lock and Key is a kind of like, this makes me want more.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of vibes that I hope you two agree. That's what we give.
If you don't cry when you read Canto, maybe find something else to do on a Wednesday night at 9:30. Just no point being with us. I was joking. We love you.
Liam is saying that he's read all of these apart from Magic Orders. That's on his must-read list now. Definitely, mate. Do it.
Yeah, that was our top pick this year. That was our number 1 spot of season 2. Definitely read Magic Order.
James has suggested a Creator Month.
Yeah, another good idea.
I'm writing all of these down. We will consider all of these, and they may not come up next season, but they may come up in the future. And Triple G is also singing the praises of Lock and Key, telling Connie she must read it. Pick up the Master Editions. I want the Master Editions. I need them in my life. Right, let's look at the rest of the leaderboard, because I've done all of the books in the rest of the leaderboard as well. Okay?
I wonder what's in last place.
Right, here we go. Right, I'm not going to read all of these out. We'll put them up for a couple of minutes, and then we'll move on. But look at that.
Like Pulp. Like we've read some good stuff.
Pulp was top 10 last year. But now it's 8th place now, joint with Klaus, Hikatea, and Batman Adventures Mad Love, and Superman Red Sun.
Yeah. That top 10's still really good if you go down like the 7, 8, and 9. Well, the top 15's really good.
The top 21's really good. Because Silver Surfer Origins that deserves a shout out as well. I love that.
Yeah, Once and Futures there as well. Yeah.
And Dave, Dave, again, 7.4 is a really good score, but we all loved Dave. Maybe that's one of the ones that's, again, quite limited because, like, how high could you really score Dave, to be honest? But we loved it.
Yeah, it's not a masterpiece, but it is a good bit of fun, and it did what it said on the tin.
Absolutely.
You know? Some really cool books there, some really fun books, and I just looking at some of these titles, like every time I see now Saga, I just think of Shane's utter disgust and detest, and and then we've got Deadly Class Volume 2. That was really good fun, and I hope that we carry on with that in the future. If we're going to read all of Deadly Class on Nerd Herd, it's going to take a few years because there's like 10 volumes in there. But yeah, so that is up to 21st position. Joint there. Let's look at the rest.
We might as well ignore the first half of the screen. Just focus on the bottom half because
my eyes went straight to last place.
Yeah, because we've read some fantastic books. You have to take the good with the bad, and unfortunately, Secret Wars 2 was the biggest pile of pish, and Witchblade and Doctor Strange they weren't much better, to be honest.
But the chat we had about Witchblade was so much fun. We had Tom on. Tom picked it. And Tom was on, and all 4 of us just slated that book from start to finish, and it was so much fun. All 5 of us, sorry, yes. Yeah. And we just had so much fun, didn't we? It was just such a great chat. But that's how it would be. Like 5 friends read a book and went to a cafe or a bar to talk about the book. You just rip into it.
And I can remember Witchblade, to be fair. I think it looked really good. Like the art style was nice, was lovely, but the story was just lacking in any kind of substance. Like it was such a strange story, but it looked incredible. It had snow and atmosphere, everything you'd want, and art.
That's all Phil needs in a book is a bit of snow, and he's happy. Give him some snow and sit him in the corner with a cup of tea. It's all right.
You know what? Looking at this list, I still get a little bit salty that my first pick ever was Wacky Raceland, and he got 5 out of 10.
Absolutely, that should definitely be higher. That was
It
so
should be
much
higher.
fun.
It's a good laugh, like.
I'm not sure.
Tom's willing to send you his issues, Phil, if you'd.
He can't even sell. You can't give them away. No,
yeah, so
Wacky Raceland. To be fair, I think again that was another one that for me it looked good, but
Yeah.
story wise it was a bit chaotic, if I remember rightly, and it was hard to kind of. Like it's just hard to kind of stay, keep concentrated on the story because I was still all a bit mad.
Yeah.
And again, one of the first ones, and I was quite critical at the very start. I think I was maybe more harsh at the start of the Nerd Herd adventure than I would be now. A lot more.
Yeah.
Calm down in your old age, have you, Phil?
Yeah, totally.
What do you think then? We've just looked at Dave, and that was 7.4, and then Dave 2 here is 5.1. It's a big jump. It's a big jump. And then going back as well earlier to when I was saying books that haven't scored highly, but I want to carry on with Middle West. 6 out of 10 here, 32nd place. But I've got the hardcover. I've got the whole collection of the thing. Dean is saying here, Wacky Raceland was the reason I left. Cool, yeah, all right. Sorry. Sorry for that, but yeah, really. Go on.
To be fair, with Middle West, and it's probably the same with Skyward, because they're quite short, complete stories, like 2 or 3 volumes or whatever. Yeah. You're going to get obviously more, off the overall story and the overall enjoyment by reading the entire thing. So I think you had tried whenever we do sequels month, you do the combined.
Yeah, the combined
scores
score,
of volume 1 and 2. So again, Middle West, that's one again. If we read the complete story, overall, it'd probably score higher than that because it's quite good. And like I said, we spent the money on it. We hope it's better than a 6.
Yeah.
I think something that scored too high is Maximum Carnage.
No, it did not score high enough. Not a chance. That should have been easily in the top 10 for the
52.
combined.
It should be in the top 51.
Yeah,
just
51.
above Secret Wars 2.
Tyler gives out a really good point. He says, looking at this whole leaderboard, I think everything rated 6 or higher is worth reading. Lots of good stuff in there. I totally agree. 6 isn't a bad score. But
there are some 5s there that we had really good fun reading. We didn't score them high because they weren't great books, but if you have fun reading it, isn't that enough sometimes?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because even the likes of the Lethal Foes of Spider-Man and Rise of the Midnight Suns, again, two titles like that's 90s goodness right there. And yeah, you can kind of read them, forget about them. Maybe that's why they scored as low as they did. But I'm glad we read them, to be honest. I enjoyed them at the time, and again, I'm a sucker for the 90s art, and worth reading. So I'll go one better, Tyler. Anything above a 5, sorry, a 5.1 because Wacky Raceland, not so good. Anything above a 5.1 is worth it.
Highland G says, you have to remember 5 is the bar, so anything higher than that is still pretty good. I think the herd has been pretty generous overall. There's only 8 books below 5. And that's true. Yeah.
And if you consider it as well, like Bite Sized and Zombie's Christmas Carol, they're like we had to try to follow a theme for Christmas picks, whatever. Yeah. And even like Nameless was a Halloween pick last year, wasn't it? I believe. No, it wasn't.
No,
okay,
just a normal pick.
Okay. I was trying to give you some credit there, but okay. And Secret Wars 2, that was just something that we felt we would follow the trend of reading Secret Wars, given Secret Wars was the first book we read. But we were with those kind of picks. What I'm trying to say is we have to pick something, and there's very few Christmas books, very few Halloween books or whatever that we have to stick with.
Yeah. Right. Let's stop it there. Okay. Been a pretty cool 2 years, right? But lads, I haven't just ordered the books in, what kind of positions they've come in. What I've done for this year, I've gone through each of our picks for this year, and I've got an average score for all of us, for
Scott's
everything that
being
we've
easy.
picked. And that includes the herd's choice. So, if you please bear with me.
This is why Scott was so stressed yesterday, getting all the
Yeah.
stats.
Look,
Wow.
I gotta give you guys a good show, all right? Okay. So, are you excited?
Apprehensive because
Apprehensive. Okay.
Shane gets really big-headed if his picks are higher overall average.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, luckily, I've done this in order of us on the screen, which is quite nice. So, here are Phil's picks and their positions. Okay. Magic Order 9.5, Deceased 9.1, Old Man Logan 8.8, Superman Red Sun 8.6, Ultimate Spider-Man 8.4, Wonder Woman Dead Earth 8.3, Cosmic Ghost Rider and Sex Criminals 8 out of 10, Long Halloween 7.7, Black Widow 6.8, World War Hulk 6.6, Bite Sized 5, and Superman Up in the Sky 4.5. Do you want to know what your average is, Phil?
Yes. Above 8, I'm assuming.
7.6.
7.6 out of 10.
We've got a chance, Scott. We've got a chance.
Okay. Well,
You do realise after this show, I'm going to go work us out myself to make sure that I haven't been
no funny buggers. Okay. Triple G's had to jump off. He'll catch you in tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing what we have planned. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Have a good night. Right. Shane.
Yes.
Oh, you're up next. Kill or Be Killed, 8.9. Kingdom Come, 8.8. Batman Mad Love, 8.6. Harley Quinn, 8.5. Colder, 7.6. Wizard of Oz, 7.4. Once and Future Volume 2, 7.3. Batman Battle for the Cowl, 7. Young Justice Volume 1, 6.8. Kaiju Score Volume 1, 6.5. Slayer, 5.4. Lethal Foes of Spider-Man, 5.2. And Pretty Violent Volume 1, 4.6. Do you think your average is higher or lower than Phil's?
Lower, about
Lower?
6.9.
Everyone in the chat, get your predictions in. Shane?
Oh, 7.1, not too low. Not
7.1.
too much lower. But
No,
okay.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I'll take that.
Strong list. You know, your top 10 is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Ignore the ones after that.
Yeah, right. Over to me. The Ultimate Volume 1, 8.2. The Kill Lock, Chew Volume 1, Skyward Volume 2, and Spider-Man Blue, 8.1. Something's Killing the Children, 7.7. Batman Year 1, 7.7. Paper Girls Volume 1, 7 out of 10. Power Rangers Volume 1, 6.9. Critical Role Volume 1, 6.8. Mind Management, 6.6. Klaus, which one's that? The second one. Klaus 2, 6.3. And Nameless, 4.3.
That's going to be tight, you know.
Where do you think I've come?
With all those
7.2.
8.1s, I think you're just slightly higher than Phil, actually.
Yeah, could possibly.
So that's your guesses. Okay.
Oh, whoa.
So I'm 0.1 above Shane and 0.4 below Phil. And Shane, you're 0.5 below Phil. So that's we're quite consistent then. We're all 7 point something with our picks, which is
I'll
quite
take
good.
that.
Yes. But yeah, like I said, I've done the herd. I've done the herd's picks as well to see what they got. There's 12 here, not 13, because we took Secret War. So that isn't on anyone's list. I've taken that out of the whole thing. That was just the episode 100 special. So we got Hotel from Connie, 8.1. The Crow from Kev, 7.9. Extremity from Kev, 7.8. Witches from Connie, 7.6. Batman Creature of the Night from Liam, 7.3. Something's Killing the Children 2. Was it Martin that chose that one? 6.9. I can't quite remember. Monsters Volume 2, 6.8. Snot Curl Volume 1 from Rich, 6.4. Nightwing, Better Than Batman.
My brother.
Yeah, 6.2. Klaus, 6. What's that? Klaus 3, 6.1. That was from Martin. Deadpool, Secret Invasion from Shane's brother. And that had 5.9. And Onslaught Unleashed from James Copley as well, 4.3. So, what do you think they got?
6.7.
6.9.
Oh,
Whoa, Phil!
6.7. There we go. So
not just a pretty face, you know.
there we go. So Phil, you had top of the leaderboard, and you had the best average score, and then surprisingly, me second. Who'd have thought? Shane literally 0.1 points below, and then the herd 6.7. But Connie had the highest rated Herd's Choice book. So
Yes.
thank you very much.
But that does mean do better next season, Herd.
Do better. You got a lot of
we-
wiggle room.
But we still love you, and we don't want you to leave us. So just do better.
No, don't leave. Just do better.
So, is there anything else you would like to bring up before I start getting onto the news?
We've got news.
We've got news. Anything from you guys? No? Yes?
Nope.
Just like to say, you know, like I said before, just reiterate that I am big-headed. I did pick the best book. I did get the highest average score, but I didn't write these books. We can only thank the creators for bringing these beautiful stories to us.
Yes. Oh yeah.
totally
So
agree.
on top of having the best book and the highest average, you also had the leaderboard for the entire season after your pick. So
Yeah,
there were only 2 weeks before you got your pick, and you've held the leaderboard for the entire season. And then in this final week, you then took over yourself and had the leaderboard again.
Well, I mean, you guys had the whole year to try and topple me, and you just couldn't do it. So I had to show you
Not
how
with the
it's
way
done.
you were scoring after you got that top spot.
But the funny thing is, you say this, but
I'm
then
only joking.
you know, no, but the Magic would have swept all them off, you know, off their feet anyway.
Hands
So
down.
yeah.
Yeah, hands down.
This will be an interesting question for Phil to answer. What are your favourite picks from someone else other than yourself? Okay? So, if we're purely going off the scoreboard, you know, for me it's going to be the Magic Order or Kingdom Come.
Oof,
Those are my two favourites.
oof.
Mine would be the Magic Order and Lock and Key. Once and Future. Lock and Key was last season, but your Once and Future, I really
Right.
enjoyed that.
You picked Once and Future Volume 2 this year.
Volume 2, yes, I did, because you
Yeah.
got me into it
Volume
last
1,
season.
yeah.
See, this is a harder question for me.
Because you don't want to give credit to anyone else.
Connie said,
No, because
Phil
I-
did play this season like a Come Dine With Me episode.
The reason why it's a harder question because I have to like lower my level. Like, I have to come down to
Oh,
your
get
level.
off.
To think of-
Behave.
To be fair, like I said, the Harley Quinn books, in terms of stuff that like I would never have kind of picked, even though they're you could argue they didn't score them the highest. I just think that I'm glad to have read them. So in terms of ones I enjoyed, Mad Love and Knock Knocks and Knock Knock Jokes and Preludes. What was it
Knock
called?
knock and
Preludes and Knock Knock
The
Jokes.
knock knock
That's the
jokes.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not me.
sorry, yeah. But yeah, and Killer Be Killed was okay too. But you know, I was accused of funny buggers for that score too. But I just think we needed to read more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going over to favourite things, I totally forgot to bring this up. We had gone and looked back at all of our favourite pages from the whole of season 2, and we've all picked one from each. Not one each. Not just we've all agreed on one. We've all picked one each. So we'll go in clockwise order. Phil, you put 2 up here. Which one are you going for? The first one or the second one?
The all blue one, Secret War.
Okay. Here we go. So this is Phil's all-time favourite picture from this year.
To be fair, I've went for the more just the artistic nature of the page, as opposed like the impact or something that I really took a lot. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I went for the page I think looks the best of all my 12 or 13 picks, whatever.
Yeah.
Or well, 52 picks. It's for every book, but I'm being daft. But yeah, it's just I just think it looks. It's the atmosphere, the electric, the kind of force field that Invisible Woman has here. It's her just shouting, "Read! I can't." It's just really dramatic. And I mentioned that the painted art of Delato I prefer more than Alex Ross.
Yeah.
So Grant Morrison and Alex Ross and Snockerl, I'll have Delato in my corner, and he's Italian, so he's feisty. So I just think this looks. I just really love how it looks. The electric, the blues, but it doesn't have snow.
Yeah.
But
No
it
pinks
has
or purples.
yeah, exactly. But it has the atmosphere, I think, and the emotion, and it kind of portrays the kind of drama of this scene for me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. So that's your absolute favourite pick of this year. Shane, this is your absolute favourite pick for this year from Something That's Killing Children, Volume 2.
Absolutely. Because, my major problem with that book was seeing the monsters, was seeing what was killing the children. But in this page, you don't see it because you're seeing through the eyes of the adults. And that's what I love so much. And that's what I wanted throughout this entire book. I wanted to be an adult, so I could not see the monster, because this right here is so much more terrifying than seeing a spider monster tear a child apart. If you just watch a child elevate in the air and then just get torn in two, that's terrifying. And I just think it's done so well. And the fact that it's just done on a plain white panel to not take anything away from the seriousness and the, grotesque nature of that picture. It's fantastic.
This is a really good page. The fact that I think we were all kind of in agreement in terms of the monsters in Something's Killing the Children was such a letdown on what they could have done artistically. But the fact that they kept it like this throughout, that's why that page has a big impact. It was so much better than what they actually gave us for the rest of the book. So yeah, that's such a cool page.
Yeah.
And then we will go over to my page. So this is my pick from Kingdom Come. And I loved this the first time around, and I love it again now. This is when Shazam is kind of stopping that, was it big bomb or missile or something coming in to destroy everyone. And the nuke. And for me, it's just the way the panels work. And
how can anyone call this static? How can anyone say his art is static? I don't understand it.
It's okay. So you
it's
take
clear.
The top panel. Yeah, it looks lovely. I'm not saying that. I don't want to make Scott hate his own page, right? But
again,
it looks lovely. So obviously you see Shazam flying up to the nuke, and all of a sudden his hands just on it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's just there's not a lot of movement or emotion you can do. It just seems very static for me in my mind.
So how would you get from flying to the nuke to touching the nuke in art form?
No, but it's like you'd have having a panel of his arm swinging first. It happens in comics. Highland G mentioned the motion, the bottom of my panel I picked with Captain America with his shield. There's ways you can portray the motion, and I think I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Again, that pitch looks fantastic. It's just I do think it's static, and that's not on the artist. It's just there's only so much you can do when it's painted.
Yeah. I just love the paneling. That was the biggest thing for me, just the diagonals of the paneling and being able to fit so much in. It just blew me away. So there we go. That's all our favourite pages. If anyone watching now has had a favourite page, let us know. I've got a comment from Alex Ross saying, great page, that, Scott. Thank you very much, Alex. Really appreciate that. What a guy. What a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a tiny bit of a special guest joining us right now. It's Alex Ross. No. It is Martin from Sonic's Comics. Hey, buddy.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you for joining. So, first of all, how are you? Are you enjoying the show?
Yeah, loving it.
Perfect. And we wanted to ask you to come onto the show because you have read every single book from this year.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much.
That's all right.
Pleasure. That's all right. Yeah, very, very coy. And how have you found it?
It's been an experience. It's been a very good experience. I got out of it exactly what I wanted to get out of it. So I'm quite looking forward to the next season or the next volume.
You're sticking around.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Nice.
See, I originally joined you guys because I wanted to try and get something from the independent scene, because most of my sort of reading or knowledge come from DC and a little bit of Marvel. So I wanted to try and get some indie titles into the mix because I've never read anything indie, and I've read some cracking books this year. I have to admit, some really good ones. So,
What stands out for you?
Kill or Be Killed, hands down.
Straight away.
Yeah,
Kill or Be Killed.
yeah.
No hesitation.
Yeah, Kill or Be Killed, brilliant, absolutely brilliant book. But then
Phil, was that your pick, Phil? Sorry, Phil, was that yours?
Why are you smug for? You didn't come top spot.
But okay, our number one fan who reads along every single week and hasn't missed a single week has picked my book as his favourite of the entire 52. So I'm allowed to be a little bit smug.
Must be the
Sorry.
best book. Must be the best
But
book. Then,
at the start of the chat, nobody mentioned any of your books. You know,
But the Magic
who's
Order
more
was
than-
good.
Magic Order was good. Is there? What was your least favourite?
Least favourite, Nameless.
All right.
Sorry,
All right. Phil, was that your pick? Or...
yeah.
that still scars me to this day.
It scars me the fact that no one liked it as much as I did, to be
It
honest.
was a tough one, though. It was a tough read. That name. It's not that it was really bad. It was just tough. I think it looked good, if I remember. It looked
Yeah,
good.
look good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But that was the one with like the alien ship coming down with some sort of greater deity or something that was going to. It just
Yeah.
became a bit the whole occult stuff, and all. I was like, that's too mad for me. But seeing hindsight, now that Martin's here, I think it would have been nice if we had maybe Scott, you have time before we go to the next segment to do a Martin's average score. Get all his scores collated.
Get all
average.
his scores. Yes, all right.
You have
yeah.
also not just if you read and been in the comments, you actually have given a score as well every week. So we should have in hindsight maybe kept all the
Maybe
scores.
kept. Yeah.
We'll do it
Yeah.
next year.
Next year. Keep your own score, all right? Yeah, keep your own score next year. Send it to me. I've got enough to do, all right? Send it to me, and I'll do it at the end. That'll be brilliant. But yeah, Martin, just thanks so much for sticking around, and you always support us on Instagram and everything, and you've tried to get people to come in and watch as well, and it's just brilliant. And the fact as well, hope you don't mind me saying that you've purposely set aside time for this.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling people about that?
Yeah. Oh, my missus and my little girl are in the routine now every single week that I have to make time to read my book. And every night on a Wednesday, my little girl goes to bed a little bit earlier. She knows she's got to be quiet. So that when I'm sitting there watching, especially when I'm on with you guys, even tonight, I've said to her tonight, look, go to bed. Promise me, no shouting, because my little girl does stay up late sometimes. She don't go to sleep till 10 o'clock. But no, she's in the routine. Don't worry, Daddy. I'll go to sleep. I'll be quiet. So she's a good girl.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's brilliant. So we thank you and your whole family.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
The joint effort.
Seriously, guys, it's the same for anybody else that's joining this season. You've pushed me onto some good books, stuff that I've picked up. And it's not just, same with The Herd. There's been some great choices, especially from Kev and Connie. There's been some great picks, stuff that I've gone out and bought. And there's stuff that I'm gutted we don't have deluxe editions of yet that I can go out and buy.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, thank you. So.
You're welcome. Thank you. I mean, I don't know what to say. But yes. Yeah, we had to get you on, had to get you to have a chat because you've stuck with us all the way through and it's been absolutely awesome.
Can I ask a question? Since we all answered, in hindsight, are there any of your scores that you would up or lower? Is there a book that you scored too high and a book you might have scored too low?
You've asked me that question on purpose, haven't you?
Did a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, Phil. I would have dropped Deceased a little bit.
It's okay. It didn't come to number one anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I would.
You meant Magic Order.
I would have dropped Deceased a little bit, but I would have brought up Kill or Be Killed and the Magic Order, which is brilliant. There's just, as much as I'm bringing Phil down, Magic Order was great.
No, to be fair, with Deceased, I know it's not going to be. It probably shouldn't be better than some of the classics, but sometimes you just can't negate the fun you have that week, that day you read that book, and that's what Deceased is. If you were in a bad mood or you were stressed or you had a lot going on in your life and whatever, and you read Deceased, it would cheer you up. I don't think it would be as good as some of the books we've read. I think you just have so much fun with it, and it makes you feel nice. And I'm gonna give it a higher score because it made me feel good.
And the fact we read it in Halloween month, like you're in the mood for something like that as well. Had we read it on Valentine's Day, would it have scored so high?
Depends how many times you had your heart broken in life. You might be enjoying that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was one of the books that made me stick it out from the get-go. Because as soon as my first experience with you guys was season 1 roundup. So I was watching this show last year, and when you announced the Halloween month, I was like, Deceased, I've been dying to read that. Saints Killing the Children, I've been dying to read that. And I thought the cover of Colder looked great, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get into this. And I knew I'd love Deceased anyway. I'm a big DC fan. That's my go-to. Kill or Be Killed was something I really wanted to read anyway. But Deceased, as soon as I read Deceased, I loved it. And I say I would drop it, but I would still score it quite high because it was a great book. There's no denying that.
I mean, just why I would say this, dog down on my book, Connie is saying the magic order is pretty near perfect. Near perfect. That's the magic order. Near perfect. You can lower your deceased score all you want. But I picked a near perfect book for Connie.
I'm scared to read the second one though.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, different artists.
Yeah.
So scared to read it, but I want to read it, so I'm sort of torn at the moment and back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
The art
it's the Klaus effect, isn't it? Like the first one is so good, and then like everything after is just like.
Yeah. Right, guys. Do you want some news and some season 3 updates? Yes.
Oh, well, I'm nodding my head. I already know the updates.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't pay attention.
Right. Well, season 3 is seeing a bit of a change, not just to the Nerdhood Comic Book Club, but to the channel as a whole. Bit of news number 1. We are changing the name of the Nerdhood Comic Book Club channel to just the Nerdhood because we are turning ourselves into a channel. So, the Comic Book Club, which will be us, will be our own channel. We're going to be introducing a brand new one with a brand new host and a brand new type of video, and it will be called Kev's Draw Along, where we introduce Kevin, our illustrator, our resident artist, and he will be doing how to draw videos and the likes as well. He's hoping to do them weekly, and he will be bringing them out. He will be bringing his first one out the day after we do our first pick for Horror Month. Now that I've shown you the little logo we've got for Kev's Draw Along, we've also got a new logo. So here we go.
Yay.
Here is our new logo. We have decided to go a bit more podcast friendly. And yes, we wanted to be a bit more neutral as well. So there we go. We've kept the sheep, the little nerdy sheep for everyone as well, just to kind of keep that kind of vibe. But that is our new logo going forward as well. We are also going to be bringing other types of projects and stuff to the channel. Shane will be bringing his quiz over from the Dawn of Comics quiz. He'll be bringing that to the Nerdherd channel. Philip has got some ideas he wants to do, and there may be a little sprinkling of comic airwaves hitting the Nerdherd channel as well. So we've got a lot to do in the next year and a lot of fun stuff coming up. But if you guys like the new logo and like the little sheep, well, you have an opportunity to get it if you wanted. We have gone ahead and we have created some merchandise for people to purchase if they would like. So let me give you a little quick preview. These are all totally mock-ups. You can change the colours, you can change whatever you like. But here we go. Here's a t-shirt with the Nerdherd Comic Book Club logo in the corner. But if you just like the sheep face, there it is as well. You can just have the little cute sheep face. We've got a hoodie with a full logo there and the head there. And, of course, we've got a mug. 2 different mugs there as well. If any of that interests you, let us know and we will sort it out for you straight away. All of that and any money that we make or whatever will go straight to the channel and may even go towards some prizes for you guys as well in the future.
Also the new notebook bookmark and sticker.
Yes, we have got a new notebook and bookmark. We're currently in the process of getting them printed. They've been designed, they've been printed, and they will have a little addition in the front of the first page. So when you open the cover, this is mine from last year. When you open the cover, inside you will see a list of 52 empty spaces for you to go ahead and write down your own scores for the books that you will be reading along with us. Martin, is that something you would like?
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Awesome.
And those
Yes.
will be given away to the winners of the viewer competition.
Yes,
the viewer's herd pick.
Anyone who wins the herd's choice will be sent a bookmark, a book, a sticker, and yes. So there we go. So that is our updates, our news for season 3. Are you guys happy with that? It looks like you are. Kevin is exploding his head. Tyler is saying cool logo. Thank you very much. Lewis, very exciting. Kevin saying the hoodies look cool. The hoodies look great.
Yes.
We're gonna get hoodies. Connie is saying the mugs are cute, and Liam is saying this is all amazing news. Perfect.
I haven't run this by the rest of the guys, but if you like a hoodie with my face on it, just with my mug on it, that's
How about
available
a
too.
dartboard? Do you use dartboard still?
Dartboards, yeah.
Or a life-size cardboard cutout of me. We could do that if you want. I mean, these are all options for everybody.
Yes, but yeah, we've done a complete kind of overhaul of the channel, so expect a few visual updates on the channel in the next coming days. That does mean
But the Nerd Herd is staying the same. Just to be clear, every Wednesday 9:30, we're not changing
the
this.
comic book club will
The
be
comic book
staying.
club.
Will be
It's going to take
staying.
ages to get
Yeah,
that.
it will. But we think it's necessary change. We want to grow. We want to be better. We want to bring more cool stuff to you guys as well. So that's that. Yes, we'll get if you want a hoodie for Thought Bubble, go ahead. So yeah, we've had a change. Well, I have changed the thumbnails, outro screen, our intro screen. Everything's new. So we're really looking forward to showing you guys all of that. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Because if not, we can go ahead and tell people what we've got coming up next. Everything in one place. Exactly.
Yes.
It will be, yeah.
Some great announcements, guys. That sounds
Thank
really
you very
cool.
much. Hope you're excited as well.
Just to highlight this as well. And what's for the cutout? Asking for a friend.
A Philip cutout.
It's quite pricey because there's a lot of cardboard. It's quite wider than normal than most.
No, but
cardboard
it'll
cutout.
average out because you're like, what, 5 foot?
I'm not really. 6'7". Come on.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Does that mean your young boy is 4 foot? No, nearly 6 foot as well then, is it?
He is going to be 4 foot.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else before we move on?
No.
Good.
No? You excited? I'm excited. We're all excited.
I'm excited. I suppose one thing we could say in terms of not so much changes with the channel, but this is like the first time we've all picked. We all have essentially our year picked out, haven't we? For what's
For
to
next
come
year. We're
for
done.
next year. Yeah.
We're all
We may
sorted.
deviate, it
Yeah.
just depends. But it's the first time. Like I have 12 books, Shades 12, Scotch 12, and I'm gonna try my best not to deviate. But I wonder, have we picked these 12 books because we're all competitive? Like we've picked
No.
12 pretty.
I
I've
haven't.
picked 12 books I want to read, and I don't have time to read, so I've put them on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I picked. That's why I picked
Oh,
my 12.
There's something else I could tell everyone for season 3 is because of the fact that as we've done 104 episodes and most of that has been volume 1s, I am making a conscious effort to bring more sequels into my picks. So half of my picks are sequels. So I will be bringing 6 sequels to the table, continuing books that we have read, good or bad, who knows.
Can anyone do math? It's 13 picks each, not 12.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
There are 52 picks.
I do not see the episode, but it was Kevin was on. And it was the crew, and I was frantically trying to get my phone out to the average for the Nerd Herd. On the spot, I can't do math too well.
No, same. But anyway, I can't pick 6.5. I picked 6. 6 sequels. Done. Already picked them.
Don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
Okay. Right. All right. Well, that's it. We've got a few minutes left to go. Shall we now go back to regular programming and tell everyone what we've got coming up next week?
Yes. We're changing the order of season 3 as well.
Yes, so it was Shane, me, Phil, and now it's Phil, me, Shane. So we just swap those two boys round, and I'm staying in the middle. That's fine. But yeah, so this is Phil's pick for our horror month for the very first episode of season 3. Here we go. So there we go. Philip, please let everyone know what we'll be talking about next week.
Yeah, it's quite a clever play on the Empire State Building. It's Vampire State Building. Looking forward to that.
Nice. From Ablaze.
Blaze Comics, yes. And
Yeah.
Charlie Adlard, I believe, was on The Walking Dead, so that's a known name at least.
That's going to be awesome. So yes, that's going to be our very first pick for Horror Month for season 3. Martin, what do you think of that?
Cool. Looks interesting.
Cool.
So vampires.
It's going to hold the top spot.
For at least 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week. Yeah, you'll get 1 week of top spot. I'm not going to be able to handle it if Phil has the top spot for 52 weeks.
It'll be unbearable.
No way. I'm
unbearable
gonna
at 49.
No.
Can't do it again.
No, yeah.
Who knows? Let's see. 10.
But there we go. I think that's the end of the show, guys. You happy with that?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
So yes, it's been really cool. I love it when we get to round up the whole season, get to talk about our opinions and what we liked and didn't like and should have liked and probably should have scored better, Philip. And then, but here is to an unbiased season 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drink to that.
Clean slate, yes.
Okay, so yeah, we've only got one thing left to do now. Get your waves out. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Love you.